Sporting Jiffy is live on your radio. Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Monday today, 22nd day in the month of December, year 2025. And I tell you what, the penultimate Monday in the amazing year 2025 are so good to be here. And we're grateful to God for the gift of life. We're here to preach the gospel of sport to you for the next 15 minutes, telling you about all of the actions making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. Just so you know, African Cup of Nations 35th edition kicked off yesterday right there in Morocco with all of the pomp and pageantry, all of the creme de la creme, including the president of FIFA, Giannis Infantino, were all present at the opening ceremony yesterday. Talk about an amazing opening ceremony right there. Amazing artists performing, and then we take it to the match itself. Morocco up against Comoros. Morocco definitely showing why they are the highest ranked country on the African continent. 10th place they are occupying right about now, and there were two new winners over Comoros. They had to leave it late. And of course, that amazing goal by Ayub El Kabi to cap off an amazing performance by the host nation. We'll talk about this and other matches that will be happening later today on the show. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show. And with me in the studio, I've got my brother from the Games Village. Well, his team has always been an elephant. And another year again, they want to prove to us why they are always referred to as the elephant. Make welcome Adeniyi Obafemi Falana. Good morning.
Good morning, AY. It's a pleasure to be on the show once again today. Of course, coming at the time that the Nations Cup kick-started. We saw a wonderful game. We saw a wonderful game yesterday.
Yeah. End to end. I mean, Comoros are no pushovers.
Definitely, even though they defended for large spells of the game yesterday. But then again, a good organization from the host nation, talking about Morocco. While they still game, they won. But if we are to judge by what we saw from the opening ceremony and from the first game yesterday, I'm very sure you will agree with me that it's going to be an interesting
cool ambience.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, African Cup of Nations, and that stems from the fact that we call them Africans, but they do their things
like the Arabians,
and the Europeans,
Asians,
because they. I mean, look at the pitch.
Yeah.
Look at the stadium.
Well, I mean, Ivory Coast also had an amazing tournament. We're not going to take it away from them.
No,
so whatever it is that Morocco is doing now, they are only building. Because in the history of the African Cup of Nations, the one we had in 2023 is still the most successful, the most entertaining, and the most watched AFCON.
Not to take anything away from what Cote d'Ivoire did in 2023, but if we are going to be sincere with ourselves, the North Africans, they don't do things like Africans.
Well, I want to buy their idea, because yesterday the second string of the Moroccan team also won the Arab Cup. So that is to tell you that they have like two first 11s.
Exactly, and that tells you the quality that they have. How far they have come with their football, with their sports, in Morocco, in recent years in Morocco. So we are set for an amazing tournament. Hopefully, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will also give us something to cheer about, because when we play Tanzania tomorrow.
Most definitely. I mean, I want to say that the Super Eagles definitely have won like a walkover over the Taifa Stars come tomorrow. Well, we'll still come back to the AFCON talks, because so much to talk about, so much to look into right about now. Let's go straight to talk about stuff and also actions that happen in European football. The top 5 European leagues, we saw actions over the weekend and some mouth-watering encounters as well. One man who also yesterday gave credence to Cristiano Ronaldo, saying, "You helped me to settle right here in Madrid." And of course, over the calendar year of 2025, he scored 53 goals as against what Cristiano Ronaldo scored of 59 goals in 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he scored 59 goals in the calendar year for Real Madrid. Ronaldo also scored 59 goals in the calendar year for Real Madrid. And we can't take away the fact that Kylian Mbappe has been more than a revelation for Real Madrid. His second season for the club, and he has proved to be It has proven to tell us that his first year was a settlement. He was settling in, with the club. Now he is like Mr. Real Madrid now, the same way Ronaldo was for Mr. Real Madrid when he was at the club and scoring 59 goals in the calendar year. A club did not even score that goal in a calendar year. How many goals did Manchester United score in 2025? Wow. I'm just asking. I don't think United scored up to 59 goals in 2025.
You don't want to attack my personality.
I'm just saying, but I mean, let's move away from United. Let's talk about Kylian Mbappe.
Okay.
What
I'm not trying to run away. Okay.
What a wonderful player he is. What a wonderful striker. Yeah. We've heard so many things, so many people saying that it's because of Mbappe. That is why Real Madrid are not functioning like a team. But then again, I think it's all down to the players not living up to expectations. I don't think it's Kylian Mbappe affecting the team. But then again, you might want to look at Paris Saint-Germain. When they left, the club won the Champions League. Just maybe. Now I'm trying to balance.
So you want to say that maybe Kylian is holding.
I'm trying to balance the conversation here. That on one side, I don't think I find it sad that some people are saying that it is because Mbappe
maybe it's being scapegoated.
At Real Madrid. That is why the other players at Real Madrid are not performing very well. Then I think that is absurd. That is a childish talk. It's not something. As a matter of fact, the best player should make the team perform very well. Generally, not just individually. We saw that
Manchester United yesterday when Bruno Fernandes was substituted due to an injury scare, and we saw how the game actually ended. And it's been said on statistics that for the last 7 matches that Manuel Ugarte started for Manchester United, they've lost.
Yeah, that tells us something. If maybe it is high time Ugarte, followed the path of what's this Barcelona defender Ronald Araujo, who because of quote unquote because of his poor performance, he has gone to Israel, to go and probably to go and seek the face of God. But then again, wherever you are, you can seek the face of God from wherever you are.
Yeah, sure, God is everywhere.
But then again, I don't know why he went to Israel, by the way. He has gone to Israel. So maybe Manuel Ugarte also needs to visit, Israel. So maybe to watch his head, because if it happens once, twice, you can say okay, something. But then again, 7 times, 7 times that you've played, started the game, this team has lost. That's something that should tell you something. Or maybe the environment is also not conducive for him, because I've seen the situation where clubs are bigger than a player.
Well, I don't want to buy that idea of clubs bigger than getting bigger. I think it's for the player to level up.
Clubs can actually
whether you like it or not, you need to level up.
Yes, I get you. But then again, we need to be realistic with ourselves. You can learn on the job, and you can learn to the extent that you just tell yourself that this is not my area. It is normal about life.
Then you're running away from it.
No, you're not running away from it.
Its head on.
No, you're not running away from it. So everybody has their. Let me borrow the words of this guy. On the High Tide podcast. What's his name? IBK. Okay. Maybe he's bearing capacity. It's not up to the level of Manchester United. Even though Manchester United, they are going through, they are paying for the sins of Sir.
Time right now.
They are paying for the sins of Sir Alex Ferguson. Even though, but then again, you will see that some players, they can't thrive in this particular club. It is normal. You will see it. That is not your level. They might try to make you play at that level. Anthony, is a clear example. There is nothing Anthony wants to play in this light that he will play in Manchester United. He can't function in Manchester United. Where he can function is where he is. A big fish in a small pond. That is where he is now at Real Betis. But if they bring that big fish to a bigger pond, not a pond now, maybe an ocean, you will see that the fish will get swallowed and probably will not be able to swim. So that is the issue with Anthony.
Talking about goals, over the weekend as well, we also saw Hurricane score his 30th club goal of the season for Bayern Munich, and of course he's not stopping, marking his 100th goal contribution, 81 goals, 19 assists in the Bundesliga. Fastest player to do that.
Of course, for a player that scored for fun in the Premier League, moving to the German Bundesliga, of course, nothing less from him. And of course, he is now playing for the biggest club in Germany. One of the top 3 clubs, in the world. If we are going to be sincere with ourselves, Bayern are definitely one of the top 3 clubs in the world. And if you beat Bayern, you've definitely done something, good for yourself. So he is going to get goals. He's going to get service. When you playing, in front of strikers, in front of players like Luis Diaz, Michael Olise,
you're getting served.
Serge Gnabry, even this young 17-year-old boy Louis Carl that is just coming up now.
Yeah, Jama Musiala coming back
from injury. You playing in front of Joshua Kimmich. You're gonna get service, and it is now left for you to put away, those chances, that you are getting. And Hurricane, even in the Premier League, when defenders are the toughest, he
was able to do it.
He was able to do it, winning Golden Boot. So I expected nothing less from him.
All right, still talking football on the show this morning. Still the Sports Option 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Well, I know you're an Arsenal fan, but quickly, let's talk about what went wrong over the weekend for the Gunners. And as it is right now, of course, you guys are 1-0 winners over everything. But Manchester City are now top of the log, and they will do that hopefully into the new year 2026.
No, Arsenal are back on top of of the table after beating Everton. Late game on Saturday night, by the way. 1 goal to nothing, courtesy of a penalty from Victor Gyökeres. 2 points ahead of Man City. Going into next weekend game, Arsenal will be hosting Brighton at the Emirates Stadium, where City will travel to. I've forgotten the stadium now.
City?
They'll be playing against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
next
they play lunchtime football on Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday. So hopefully that game ends in a draw.
Well, I'll reserve my comments myself. Because
hopefully it ends in a draw. And
now,
Chelsea,
you lot are begging for City to draw. Points.
Of course, everybody is begging for everybody to draw points, except Manchester United, because even if your opponent draw points, it's like you don't even know what to do with the point that your opponent. Chelsea draw points over the weekend.
Yeah.
United couldn't capitalize on that. But then again, kudos to Aston Villa playing a wonderful football. 10 straight victories for that club. Right,
you want to give it up for Rogers too.
Morgan Rogers is a man that is in hot form right now. He's a man that is in hot form right now. I just made a mistake by not putting him in my FPL over the weekend because I knew he was going to score. I knew he was going to score yesterday. I didn't just put him in my FPL. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 2 goals. No, but I knew he was going to get.
There's nothing colder than that.
Exactly, and right now Aston Villa they are on red hot form. But then again, their title credentials will be tested, by their next 2 games in the Premier League, away at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, and of course away at the Emirates against Arsenal. We'll see what they can do. Win those 2 games, and we might have another Leicester City, on our hands right now. Of course, City will also be playing against Nottingham Forest, just like I said. Well, let's see what is going to happen. We're just getting to the halfway point,
of the season.
We still have 19 games, left, to play. What will happen with those 19 games? Only time will tell. But what I can tell you that will happen is United will not make top 4. Chelsea will not win the Premier League. That is what I can tell you.
Okay, I understand, and I'll keep that locked in my diaries right there. Later today, we'll be seeing games between Fulham and Nottingham Forest right there at the Craven Cottage, and the Confederation of African Football, Africa Cup of Nations. Mali will be hosting Zambia. They are also on the fire right now. Of course, we said that their head coach, Michael Sean, might be named as an assistant coach due to licensing. How do you allow an Avram Grant to leave proud to a major tournament, and you are bringing in a coach that it feels like this nonchalance, this thing is embedded in Africans.
Well, I don't want to say Africans. This is not the first time that we are, seeing issues like this. Remember at the World Cup, is it 2018? I'm trying to remember right now. Yeah. 2018 FIFA World Cup, Spain. But they were going to that tournament with Julian Lopetegui, the former Sevilla manager. And news broke about a week to the tournament. Was it a week or 2 days before the tournament that Julian Lopetegui has signed a contract with Real Madrid to become the coach of Real Madrid after the FIFA World Cup. That did not sit down well with the Spanish Football Federation. And what did they do? They fired Julian Lopetegui on the eve of the FIFA World Cup. Guess what? Fernando Hierro took over as the coach for Spain. They were battered. They were beating Black and Blue. I don't think they made it. I think they made it out of the group
in 2018.
In 2018, yeah, I think they made it, and maybe Russia defeated them. I can't remember, but I think Russia defeated Spain at the 2018 World Cup. So that tells you something, that it is not just peculiar to Africa, but just that Africa.
Yeah, they were defeated by Russia in the round of 16.
In the round of 16,
4-3 on penalties.
4-3 on penalties. Yeah, because it was a very, very terrible tournament for Spain in that particular encounter. They struggled to make it out of the group, by the way, and they faced the host nation. But regarding Zambia, I don't know what they are going to be doing. I don't know the tactics the boys are going to be adopting. They have been playing under Avram Grant. They have a particular pattern under him that all of a sudden
it's going to change.
It's going to change.
All right,
we still have the issue of Cameroon.
I mean, it feels like for everything there's always something to deal with. There's also South Africa hosting Angola later this evening, at about 6 p.m. and they will be having Egypt up against Zimbabwe later tonight as well. Some group matches in Group B.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the Egypt, game. I'm talking about Egypt. I feel Mohamed Salah has a point to prove here right now after the childish outburst from from Jamie Carragher regarding Salah not winning the AFCON for Egypt. They asked you a question about Liverpool. You are talking about Egypt.
Egypt, yes. We know them when we say them. I mean, over time. This is not the first time Carragher is coming out to talk about the African Cup of Nations and also try to belittle the impact of the tournament as a whole. So when he was also referencing that Salah has never won the AFCON with Egypt,
all of a sudden,
he got people talking.
All of a sudden, the AFCON is now a major tournament. Same AFCON that you kind of belittled.
Talking about the AFCON generally, on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, before the opening ceremony, the president of CAF, Patrice Motsepe, doctor, said that AFCON will now be played every 4 years. Don't you think this is dancing to the tune of the Europeans? Does it still feel like African, or should I say CAF, is now like a puppet? Because we know that they tried to do it during Issa Hayatou and they vehemently disagreed, making sure that we are playing the AFCON every 2 years.
I get your point, but then again, we have an influx of African players in European football.
Okay.
And look at all the major tournaments in the world. I think they play every 4 years.
Yeah, except for the Nations League.
The Nations League.
Yeah.
But the Nations League looks like a glorified friendly. In my point of view.
But they don't play it every 4 years.
It's not a major tournament. So the Nations League is more or less like we have groups. Different groups, they play during the international break, and of course the top from each groups now come together to play, a semi-final and a final. All of this still being played within the FIFA international window. So I think that is what they are also going to adopt, going forward
with the Nations League that they want to
African Nations League. Yeah, so same thing they are going to adopt. So when there's an international break, we play the Nations League during the international break. And of course, after that, we now play. So instead of playing friendly games, the Nations League will now come in as the friendly games, for us. Same way we have it with the European calendar. So the Nations Cup also for 4 years. But the major point here is, we're going to be having it mid-season like we are having it now, or we are going to be having it.
Go back to the
summer. And if we go back to the summer, they call it the summer, but that is when we have most of the rains that we have in Africa,
which was what impacted the one that happened in Ivory Coast, why we have to move it.
So if we are going to be doing that, are we not going to be limiting it to just North African countries and some West African countries? Because down in South Africa, in the South African region, they can host it during that period, July, and also in East Africa. So are we now going to, that means we're going to be limiting the number of teams
that we participate in
that can host the tournament, or are we still going to be retaining the January, February? But then again, I think the main issue here is the January, February, releasing players mid-season. Thankfully, some clubs are going on a break, for in Spain,
at that time,
Germany, France. They're going on break during December, January. But for the English Premier League, that is not the case. But I don't know what they're going to do. I think we've not seen the end of this. We've not seen the end of more policies will be put in place. I don't want people to look at it from the angle of Africans are dancing to the tunes of the European. But then again, we have an influx of players in the European football scene. You can't blame them. They are the ones that pay the salaries of these players. They are the ones that take care of these players. Ola got injured playing for Nigeria, but I can guarantee you most of the treatment Ola is getting, most of the money is coming from Nottingham Forest. So if Nottingham Forest is telling you that I don't want to release this guy during the African Nations Cup, I understand it's our tournament. They should respect us, yes. But then again, you should understand that these people are the one paying the salaries of these players.
Money is at stake too.
And there's the popular saying that who pays the piper dictates the tune. So I'm the one paying you guys. So they
in short,
not
FIFA is
European football
paying the piper.
European football will pressurize FIFA. FIFA won't have a choice and to pressurize CAF. And if they pressurize CAF, the money they are getting from FIFA, it's football, business, politics, all of them, they go of course. So you need to understand now, if Salah gets injured, Liverpool suffers. If I'm looking for a big player, look at Sunderland. I mean, 8 Sunderland players. I won't be surprised.
And even not just Sunderland, there's in the French League on, there's likes of Paris FC and also Lorient, who have 5 players.
I mean, in the French League, most of the players from some of the players from North Africa and some Francophone, speaking countries, French-speaking countries. They have most of their players playing in the French League on. God forbid one major player gets injured. The team pays for it. Sunderland right now, before these guys come back from Nations Cup, I won't be surprised if you find Sunderland in the 11th position. Because you can't deny the fact that these guys are playing active football for Sunderland. So that is why. So there has to be a balance, in all of these things.
All right, Sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget, this is the morning dose of your Sports Tonic. Sports in a Jiffy. We'll be back later this evening between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. on the Sports Up Show. We'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of reviews, and all of the interviews. I've just been able to serve you your early morning Sports Tonic. This package comes to your airing Mondays to the Fridays from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10. And this way we'll call it the wrap on the package for this morning. Many thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. Don't forget, once again, we're back here later this evening. Here's a short reminder. I can keep up with this update and more by joining us on our social media platforms on YouTube at iImpact 102.1 FM, Instagram and X at iImpact 102.1 FM, TikTok at iImpact 102.1 FM. Ayo Deji Ajiboye is my name on behalf of Adeni Obafemi Falana. I say go out there and be the best version of yourself, and do not forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. Do have an amazing and a fulfilled week ahead. Happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays. Good morning.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your